Pakistan, since its inception, from the bloody partition of British India in 1947, has been trapped in a vicious cycle of sham democracy, corrupt politicians, and ruthless military interventions. From the outset, its political structure was unstable. The death of Muhammad Ali Jinnah in 1948 robbed the nation of its founding figure, and Prime Minister Liaquat Ali Khan's assassination in 1951 deepened the political vacuum. Without a strong political culture or democratic tradition, Pakistan never held direct national elections until 1970, a staggering 23 years after independence. The country's political history is a tragic saga of broken promises, stolen mandates, and brutal authoritarianism, where power has oscillated between crooked politicians and power-hungry military generals. The first decade of the country exposed the hollowness of its democratic foundations. In 1958, General Ayub Khan staged Pakistan's first military coup against President Iskandar Mirza, who was a product of a British colonial bureaucracy, ending any pretense of democracy, setting a precedent that still haunts the nation. Ayub ruled like a monarch, under the guise of controlled democracy, holding rigged elections and suppressing dissent. He laid the foundation for a military bureaucratic elite, a deep state that would manipulate politics behind the scenes for decades to come. Ayub Khan's decade of tyranny between 1958 to 1969 was marked by crony capitalism and brutal suppression. His infamous basic democracy system was a farce, ensuring only the elite held power. When protests erupted, he handed power to another general, Yahya Khan, whose disastrous handling of East Pakistan led to the 1971 war and the birth of Bangladesh, a direct result of military arrogance and political negligence. After Bangladesh secession, Zulfikar Ali Bhutto came into power in West Pakistan, while Sheikh Mujibur Rahman swept the east. But Bhutto and military refused to accept the results. The fallout led to civil war and genocide in East Pakistan. Bhutto's rise promised change, but his rule was authoritarian and nepotistic. While he introduced progressive reforms, he crushed opposition, intimidated journalists, and used state power to dominate politics. He also manipulated elections, jailed opponents, and concentrated power. His 1973 constitution, though praised, was later weaponized to suppress dissent. His downfall came in 1977 when allegations of massive electoral fraud triggered protests, giving General Zia-ul-Haq the excuse to seize power. Bhutto was hanged in 1979, what many call a judicial assassination. Zia-ul-Haq's 11-year rule was Pakistan's darkest period. Zia ruled as a brutal military dictator, cloaking his regime in Islamic rhetoric, public floggings, and political hangings, including Bhutto's judicial murder. He Islamized the military and judiciary, embedding religious extremism into politics. His patronage of jihadi networks backed by US and Saudi Arabia during the Soviet-Afghan War sowed the seeds of today's terrorism crisis, a decision that would haunt the region for decades. Zia rewrote laws, entrenched religious conservatism, and banned political parties. Zia also institutionalized the military's role in politics, bureaucracy, and businesses, creating a military-industrial complex that is now virtually untouchable. Zia died in a mysterious plane crash in 1988. Many believe it was an inside job. The decade of democracy between 1988 and 1999 was a sham, with Benazir Bhutto of Pakistan's People's Party and Nawaz Sharif of Pakistan Muslim League Noon taking turns looting the country, both of whom acted as puppets of establishment, were corrupt, incompetent, and subservient to the military. Both leaders presided over massive corruption. Benazir's husband, Asif Ali Zardari, became known as Mr. 10% for taking kickbacks on deals. Nawaz Sharif, on the other hand, a product of Zia's political nursery, used public money to fund private business empires. Benazir's government was dismissed over corruption charges, while Nawaz Sharif amassed wealth through crony deals. Their musical chair politics ended in 1999 when General Pervez Musharraf, another power-hungry general, overthrew Sharif in a coup. He suspended the constitution, arrested judges, and ruled Pakistan like a corporate CEO with guns. Musharraf posed as a liberal reformer, but was another dictator. Despite promises of modern Pakistan, Musharraf cracked down on dissent, dismissed the judiciary, and enabled U.S. drone strikes in the country. While he allowed some economic growth, his rule was brutal. Baloch leaders were murdered, journalists disappeared, and judges were bullied. His alliance with U.S. post 9/11 made Pakistan a client state that further destabilized Pakistan, radicalizing tribal areas and deepening internal divisions. Musharraf engineered rigged elections and installed weak politicians like Shaukat Aziz, ensuring that power remained with the army. His 2007 dismissal of Chief Justice of Pakistan sparked a lawyers' movement, forcing him out. After Benazir's assassination, the return of democracy saw Benazir's husband Zardari and Nawaz Sharif back in power, both drowning in corruption scandals. Zardari's tenure was marked by unchecked corruption, patronage, and a weakening of institutions, while Nawaz was caught in the Panama Papers. The military allowed these corrupt politicians to rule because it suited their interest. The military, however, never truly left power. It controlled foreign policy, security, and even media narratives. Nawaz Sharif dared to challenge the military's dominance over foreign and security policy. He was ousted by a judicial coup in 2017 over corruption charges exposed in the Panama Papers. The 2018 elections were blatantly rigged to bring Imran Khan to power, a project backed by the establishment, a new military experiment. Khan was seen as a pliable puppet. However, he began asserting independence, especially after a fallout over military appointments. Khan challenged Army's dominance over foreign policy on Russia and the US. In 2022, Khan was removed by a parliamentary non-confidence vote, widely seen as orchestrated by the army. His removal exposed the military's iron grip on politics, proving once again that no civilian leader is allowed to rule without the general's approval. From the year 2022 to present time, the return of Sharif dynasty and total military rule. Nawaz Sharif's brother Shehbaz Sharif was installed as the Prime Minister of Pakistan. The 2024 elections were the most rigged in the history. Imran Khan was jailed on politically motivated cases. Internet blackouts were imposed, and voting was marred by rigging. The military ensured a hung parliament, so it could broker a coalition and retain control. Meanwhile, the military openly calls the shots, making Pakistan a de facto military dictatorship with a civilian facade. Pakistan's history is a joke of democracy. Most of its politicians are corrupt, using power for personal gains. Generals are power-hungry, overthrowing governments at will. Judiciary is compromised, legitimizing coup and protecting elites. Elections are rigged, ensuring only the establishment's favorites win. Until Pakistan breaks free from its feudal military complex, it will remain trapped between sham democracy and outright dictatorship. The people deserve better, but the elites will never let them win.